When Colin Younger found out that he had bumblebees living on his roof, he got interested in the insects and decided to take a beekeeping course. That was a year ago, and whilst back then he was still playing with the idea of getting his first beehive buzzing, an unexpected offer made him a beekeeper much sooner than he had expected.
I got the hive, I built the hive, and I thought, well, okay, I'll get some in the summer, maybe, that sort of thing. And what happened was that I got a telephone call from a strange man that I'd never heard of before, who basically said, I've got a swarm of bees, do you want them? And I said, well, yeah, okay, no problem at all. And how long before I get them? And he said half an hour, they'll be there in half an hour. And he basically bought a box of bees and dropped them in front of the hive up there.
Ever since, Colin has been passionately observing the bees to find out as much as he can about them.
They behave in particular ways at particular times of the year, and the biggest challenge is actually watching them enough to be able to learn that behaviour so that you know when your bees are in a good mood or if they're in a bad mood. The most fascinating thing about them for me is that they don't think about themselves as individuals at all. What they think about themselves is a whole collective. They have many different jobs. There is the queen, whose job is basically to lay eggs. There are bees who will look after the queen to make sure that she can actually get on with laying some eggs. There are bees that are called house bees. What they do is they just look after the general house, take the rubbish out, that kind of thing. There are guard bees who will sit at the front of the hive in a particular pose that will look after the hive when they feel a little bit under threat.
To keep himself and the public safe, the beehives are located on Colin's roof. But so far, the reactions from neighbours have been positive.
First of all, they didn't really notice because I kept the bees somewhere that people couldn't really see them. But they then started noticing that their plants and their flowers were starting to bloom a little bit more, because the thing is that my bees were busy going over and talking to their plants. What I also did is, after a little while, I could actually take some honey out of the hive, and I gave it around to the neighbours, so they were really pleased. And what I now get is I get people offering me plants that I can put into my garden to actually help the bees out themselves. It's such an interconnected system where the plants will say, hey, we've got some stuff here, does anybody want it? And then the bees will come along and take it. And then the plants go, hey, I'm going to go for it now. So they will then suddenly blossom out into more stuff. I like to think that I am making the environment better in my local area.
And for the future, Colin hopes to get more things buzzing in Portsmouth.
What I also want to do is find other places in the local area who would be wanting to also have a hive, which I would look after. I would put a webcam on there for them as well. So, for example, a hotel or something like that, they could then use the output of the hive to be able to put in for breakfasts and things, so people could have their own honey on their own porridge in a hotel type thing.
Nicole Ris, for That's Solent.